Hey, quick screen share. So after our last together time, Yaleela and I caught up, and Yaleela was so sort of in awe of one, your coaching, Alison, too, by the way. So thank you. So just some feedback from Yaleela, even though Yaleela could give you that feedback. But it was
Thank
great
you.
that you were actually able to help Yaleela unpack Yaleela's origin story.
Oh, lovely. I'm so glad. That's awesome.
Hmm. And then I thought, you know what? Let's continue that. But I don't worry too much about that story tonight. But I wanted to share a book with you. I've done I've done 9 sessions this week, 4 a day in the mines, and then one today at a keynote at a all schools conference. And I just every time I'm on stage, all I can think about is the power of storytelling and the stories that will land. And the whole keynote, uh, as we are coming into tonight's webinar, I thought a whole keynote is just a series of stories that are connected to key messaging and to key takeaways. And I think, especially where you, Leela, and you are, Alison, at the moment, this is a book that I read, well, audio booked, of course, because I do Audible.
Mhm.
And Paul Smith is someone who works for CEOs, and he's worked with, as it says on there, something like 300 CEOs. And what he's done is he's tried to unpack what are the 10 top stories that we really all need to be able to tell as business owners.
Mm.
And here's a thought, as I looked at this preparing for tonight, I thought there's nearly, like in a keynote, there's nearly probably 5 or 6 of those that you could sort of float into a 1 hour keynote, all under the topic of whatever your topic is.
Mm.
And if you got the audio book of this particular book, because it's actually a book, or you get the hard copy. Paul Smith really talks you through how to craft those stories and what a good story looks like, and then how to use those stories for impact, and when to use the stories, even more importantly. So I wanted to share that with you both tonight, and just as maybe homework, if you're looking for something to do, just because of the value and the power, and I think where we started last week with Origin Story and how well that landed. I think, because we're going to have a small group for probably the next couple of months, until
Mhm.
we bring more business coaching clients on board, which I'll do once I start marketing. There might be an opportunity for us as a little collective, and hopefully we'll get Sean on as well, as I said, but not hopeful. We might be able to start picking one of these stories each week or something like that, and really unpacking them and practicing this art of storytelling over the next couple of weeks or months, if you're up for that. And your call, though. I'll leave it up to you, but I'm just sort of trying to craft these in a way that you can get some value without you having to do too much work for them too. But I think, crafting a story is probably not really that hard, like, especially, and maybe what might be beneficial too is if you've got, maybe a framework, to me the framework is really, what's the intro, or what's the actually, let's go back to basics, first principles. What's the experience? How have you evaluated that? And then what can you learn from that? And all of those there could nearly fit into that sort of a model. What's the experience? Where did we come from? So, I was an electrician, got blown up in a switchboard, and then I started public speaking. I did it to a group, and I watched people's eyes light up, and I watched some expression on their face. And then, what I learned was that I loved it that much, and I felt like that story could land, and so I went and put my resignation in and started doing it for a living. And then what I've learned since then is that the power of stories to connect with people not only help you start a business like it did for me, the founding story, but it also helps people stay safe, not put steel rulers in switchboards, and maybe even psychological safety is also tied to physical safety, and we've ended up there now. So, so I think all of those stories could follow a very similar framework. Over to you. Thoughts? Thoughts, comments, queries?
I think it's great to have a bit of a framework because I think the
Mm,
hard thing is when people actually start to talk and when you meeting somebody new for the first time and they say, "What do you do? How did you get into it? Where did it come from?" And it's
yeah.
just knowing that answer off cue
Yeah.
without going, "Oh, well,
Mm,
just kind of like did this and just kind of like fell into that." And it's just having that. I think once you practice it enough and have your stories ready to go, it'll just be, this is who I am, this is where I came from, this is what I do, this is what I offer. It's like a
absolutely.
bit of a boom, boom, boom. And it's telling a story at the same time.
And not only that, Alison, it's more engaging, right? When you practice it, when you know it, you've bought in to a degree.
Exactly. And when you're talking to somebody and you've got that confidence and you don't have to sort of second guess yourself and look really uncomfortable when somebody
Mm,
says, "So what do you do and what can you offer? And sorry, who are you? And where's
mm.
your story come from?" And if you can just nail it, it's like
Game
it's
on.
that confidence and that confidence will sell.
Oh, we don't buy from businesses, Alison Shepherd. We buy from humans.
100%.
The more confidence we are in our story, the more believable it is. Absolutely.
Yeah. Huge.
Yaleela Torrens, agree?
Yes. Yeah. Like framework. I'm just thinking like it's a plan of how we're going to
Yeah,
share.
that's it.
And I think this happened to me yesterday when there was Asiona
Oh,
inviting some First Nations business owners to a breakfast event.
yeah.
I felt a bit more, actually, after our last session, I felt a bit more comfortable and competent in being able to introduce myself. And
Oh,
because and like a lot of the conversations that I had
mm,
were with industry, it's Asiona, so it's industry. I
mm,
don't work in industry, but I can still tell my story about why I started the business. And
mm,
I think our last session made
mm,
me like reflect on going, actually, there's still a big piece of why I'm here and what I do.
mm,
Um, and one of those was, to fill the gaps of, in social work practice. And I
mm,
was able to talk a little bit about social work and some of
mm,
the EAP work that I've been doing as well.
mhm,
Awesome. I was just going to say that.
Yeah, and how
mm, mm,
and I could make links, even though I felt a bit, removed from some of say the
mm,
CEOs or the engagement officers and other, GA and stuff were there. Um,
mm.
not really clicks that I associate with because I'm not in the industry, but I was still able to make connection through my story, which was really nice. Yeah.
I, can
And
I just say, I
and
don't think you don't have connection with industry, Yaleela. I think you have so much connection with industry. It's just, and all I could think of, and I couldn't remember the word, was EAP. And I've used EAP before in my previous role. And I
yeah,
just wondered how you could utilize what you offer to someone who's a big CEO and a big corporate and
yeah,
incorporate that. And then you said EAP, and I was like, yes, I'm so glad you said that because that is
yeah,
so true. Every company has the EAP. Well, not every company should, but most companies have access to EAP. And if you
yeah,
offer that as part of your services, that's incredible.
yeah, yeah. But it's like, because I've always associated my professional identity with a social worker,
Mm,
and EAP is only work that I've only recently, got a contract
Okay.
mm,
another company. So it was, I think, yeah, and just practicing, like you said, Alison, getting familiar with that story and then
mm,
being able to, that repetition, um,
mm,
getting familiar with it myself, going, oh yeah, I do EAP. Sometimes I forget because
mm.
I'm so deep in therapy with kids. Like there's a whole other part of my practice here that can align with the likes of Asiona or other.
100%. All the big orgs need EAP.
So yeah, so that's where the storytelling has definitely made me think differently about self, like now in the here and now, but also um why I, got out in business in the first place. And I'll forget that.
I'll be down at 5.
It's one of those things too where I think if you start saying it more often, incorporate it into this is one of the services I offer.
Mm.
You could, and I don't know what your goal is, so forgive me. I'm just speaking like completely off loop here, but I was like, you could just pick up all of those contracts, pick up whatever contracts you want, because you are Yaleela and you offer EAP and this is the services, and it's so confidently coming across that it just flows off. It's not just a social worker. I'm not just doing therapy for kids. I offer this, and there's no I'm just, because you have got a wide range of services.
Yeah. So,
which is awesome.
Again, practice and repetition. That's probably my biggest thing now, Anton, like looking for opportunities that I can actually do that, because I can't do that if I'm like with my clients. I'm not going to storytell.
No, that's right.
So it's, yeah.
I love what Alison said then, Yaleela. You're just, you're just so much more than social work, and I think we see you as so much more than that. So it's just,
I forget that myself though, because I've always so long I've my professional identity. Oh, I'm a social worker.
No, right.
I know I've kind of grown a bit. So yeah.
Keep up the good work. Keep up.
I will.
Though it's always a little bit difficult transitioning. And when you said before that they're not you're not familiar with them, I was going to say yet. Yet. And it's not that you're not familiar with them, it's just you don't know them yet. You just don't know, you don't know what their pain points are.
Well, there's no I haven't been in industry. I don't know people in industry.
Right. Yet.
Yeah.
So keep up the good work and keep associating with them, and thank you, Alison, for all the positive feedback too. What I just had a quick thought, team, in the last couple of minutes. We're off to Jesus Christ Superstar tonight, so that'll be pretty cool fun. We're off to a musical tonight.
I was going to say, where are you guys?
We're in Vegas.
We're flying down tomorrow night. I'm taking Gina B, Anton.
Yeah, good.
I'm taking Gina B to Rabbitohs and Broncos.
Oh, we're going as well.
Anton,
tell me the Rabbits.
But we'll be in the corporate box.
Oh, stop it. Go you.
How we roll. That is how we're rolling.
Go you.
My baby's first time.
Oh, very good. You might as well do stop.
In the corporate box. And I'm surprisingly, I'm picking her up from school.
Nice. I haven't told her yet.
I told her dad, don't say anything. Let me pick her up. I'll take her straight to the airport.
Oh, stop it.
We'll get on that 5:30. Yeah, so we'll be there by 8.
Nice. Good luck. Good luck
tonight.
Thank you. And then Saturday, Toby gets married, so that's why we're down here.
Oh yes. Hey, how was the bus?
Oh, hungover. Sore head. Haven't drank for 6 months, and then I drank 6 months in 6 hours. And
did you write yourself off, Anton?
Yes.
Good. I feel as though I know it's not good, but I feel as though you need a break, because you're always just serving others. You're always of service to us, and
we all are, as we all three of us are. We're all in service, and tell you, I had a blast, and I was home by 9. Carried home by my little brother, which was good. He took on a very responsible adult role that I seem to have missed that night, and woke up Sunday morning worse for it. But thank you. Yeah, it's nice to let the hair down occasionally, and I think I'll be a bit more sensible on Saturday night. So I've got to do a speech that I'm only allowed 5 minutes, and I said 5 minutes. What am I supposed to do in 5 minutes? It's like my intro.
It's number 1.
That's right. But hey, ladies, you two girls rock. You're amazing. Next time we're together, we'll do some more storytelling, and I think what we might start with next time too is highlights, and learnings from the week, and then we'll do some storytelling as well. So we'll share a bit of what we've experienced and what we've learned, because I can't wait to see your two businesses grow.
Sounds great.
Thanks, Anton. Enjoy
your weekend.
You too.
Bye.
See you, girls.